Okay, hello, hello.
Hi folks, how you doing? Happy Sunday. I'm Michael, this is Tina, and we are Better Yourself 365. We're a company that helps people with their health and with their relationships. And our motto is live healthy, love fully, because we want people to be focused on their health, and we want people to help people focus on improving their relationships with their loved ones. That could be your partner, your kids, whomever.
So they go hand in hand.
They go hand
Yeah.
in hand, and some of the same patterns that exist in one relationship are there in another. So those are the types of things that we work on with people. We're both therapists, and we work with a lot of clients on both of these areas of life.
Yes, and we come in live every couple of weeks, and today we're going to be talking about an interesting topic for some of you, probably. We're going to be talking about how the most important factor in reaching your goal of getting a healthy weight, right? For some people, that means losing some weight, and for some other people, it's actually the opposite, gaining some, or even maintaining what you have, right? So it's the most popular New Year's resolution for people. So that's why we decided to tackle this today. And we're going to talk about the importance of one little aspect that can make or break that goal. And it's all about mindset. So that's what we'll be talking about today.
That's right.
So we will take some time for some questions and comments at the end. And if you're joining us, say hi, comment. We love to hear from you. So, honey, what would you say is the reason why mindset is so important in reaching a healthy weight? Yeah.
Well, I think mindset really is the center of a lot of success in people's lives, but there's something called growth mindset and fixed mindset. And a researcher by the name of Carol Dweck has done a lot of work on this topic, and that's where I've learned most of my stuff on it. And essentially, growth mindset is an attitude and group of habits that really focus on things that move you forward and don't keep you stuck in the past, and it doesn't result in you being hard on yourself. It's a very methodical way of conceptualizing healthy weight that includes focusing on progress, and includes focusing on being consistent, and includes focusing on seeing mistakes as learning opportunities.
Right.
So for that reason, mindset, in particular growth mindset, is very important when it comes to us maintaining maintaining a healthy weight, whatever capacity that means. Because as you very well know, we all know, a lot of us have a lot of knowledge about weight and eating, but the problem is that we end up slipping, and then what happens to us when we do that? So that's where the mindset comes in.
Yeah, and that's a big part of our mission when we talk about better your health, right? We're not nutritionists, we're not doctors, but we are therapists, and we know the importance of whatever goal you do set. What's going on psychologically for you, the mindset that you have is going to be key for you to reach your goal. So we're not talking about nutrition today. People can get that information very easily, right? There's so many different diet plans and not diet necessarily, but meal plans that are meal ways of eating that fits your body, your lifestyle, all that. The same for exercise, right? We know the importance of that, and we know it's all built into managing a healthy weight. But a lot of us still, with all that knowledge, can't succeed in that, or challenges. It's a struggle at times because of the mindset part.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I think if we can work on that piece, some of the other knowledge that we have can fall into place because we have that kind of stabilizing, grounding piece of understanding about how it's going to look like on a moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis.
Right. So today we're actually just going to tackle 4 tips about mindset that hopefully will be helpful to help you with your goal of any goal really, but we're tailoring it more specifically to the goal of healthy weight. So we want to get started here. So the first one is something that is not necessarily easy to do, but it's accepting what you cannot change and focusing on what you can. So this past year, I've had to practice that a lot for my own weight goal, right? Because I'm at that certain age where women transition hormonally. Let's just say
Yeah, good way to put it.
it's a lovely stage, isn't it? You love it,
Well, I don't have to go through that,
but
so
witnessing in me. But anyways, one of the symptoms, I guess, or the things that often happen when you're going through premenopause, you are gaining weight, and it's extremely hard to lose it. So for me, that was hard because I'm used to a certain weight, and I've been pretty consistent most of my life. So this has been something I've had to practice, accepting what I cannot change. Is that right now I don't have control over that part of my hormones being, going through something that I don't have much control over, and I need to accept that part. So what I can do though is focus on what I can, which is still maintaining healthy habits, still thinking of myself, looking past the weight gain that I've had, but looking at, okay, what am I doing to stay healthy? And whatever I'm doing to stay healthy will help me not continue gaining more weight, right? At least it helps me maintain and feel pretty good about myself, even though I don't look the same. So it's about still focusing on the food you take in, and the exercise, and focusing on how I feel as opposed to how I look. So that's the big piece about acceptance. And I mean, and that's one example, right? And it's certainly not easy to accept it. I don't know if I'm 100% accepted that yet, but I'm closer than I was. I'm working on it, right? So it's a work in progress. But there's other things that we need to accept, like right now, like with COVID, for example, and gyms closing. Like for some of you that maybe were like maybe that's what you had set as a goal. You'd go to the gym, and now all of a sudden the gyms are closed. Okay, we need to accept what we cannot change, but what can you focus on to still exercise, right? It might look very different, but you can still exercise. So that's what you focus on instead, right?
right.
So there's a lot of things. Sometimes if we get injured and we all of a sudden can't do certain things in our exercise plan, but that doesn't mean we can't do other exercises that doesn't impact us the same way. So it's all about accepting what we cannot change and still looking at what we do have focus on. That's the first tip.
That's a really good one. So the second one we want to talk about is respecting your capacity. And what we mean by that is, well, as everybody knows, we are getting rather tired of going through this pandemic. And it's wearing people out, and some people are getting burned out, and it takes a lot of their energy in order to get through their days. So a lot of people we're functioning at a reduced capacity, really, what we're able to handle. We can't be as flexible and snap back as quickly. They call that resilient. We're just not as resilient. Yeah. So we're just kind of at a reduced capacity. A lot of people are. And, learning to be respectful of that without being upset with ourselves, and that's our third one. But respecting our capacity might mean biting off a little bit less, because you know that you might be setting yourself up for not being able to accomplish whatever goal that is. Whether that's when it comes to healthy weight, it could be a combination of exercise, food, and sleep. The three big ones that impact that.
And stress.
And stress, of course. So reducing some of those things that will build your capacity to be able to reach the goals that you want to reach. But I think it's important first for us to understand what our capacity is. And if we are operating at a reduced capacity, that we honor that and fulfill our needs and give ourselves what we need to do to increase our capacity to be able to handle what it is we want to do. Maybe we pull back on our goals a little bit just because the gyms are closed, and we know we're not going to be able to do it that same way, so we have to pull back a little bit. So honoring that capacity, understanding what it is and honoring it isn't a failure. Although if you view failure as not reaching your goals, we need to view failure through a learning perspective when it comes to mindset. So not reaching your goals, we spend a few minutes on, why didn't I do that? Not stuck in the past of what's wrong with me, why can't I do that? Well, looking at it from I'm at a reduced capacity right now, it makes total sense that I'm not able to pull it off the way that I used to be.
And that's a really good segue into the third one, which is about self-compassion, right? Because even more importance in being compassionate towards ourselves during this period, because whatever goal we set, we are, like you say, we are not resilient the same way.
Yeah.
This has taken a toll on all of us, in our mental health. So we may struggle a little bit more to reach our goals or to maintain our goals, especially when it comes to day-to-day stuff around managing our weight or exercising or eating right. And if we're slightly emotional and we tend to do some emotional eating, well, some of that might be happening. So when we talk about self-compassion as a mindset, some people have a hard time recognizing how that would be useful. Why would I be self-compassionate for myself? Isn't that just going to be like an excuse, and then I'm just going to go down that rabbit hole of not focusing on my goal? But no, it's actually the opposite. Because if we are hard on ourselves and we beat ourselves up when we overate that night, right? The chance of us being able to start over the next day and seeing the next day as a new day is slimmer. Because there's a psychological effect of us beating ourselves up, is that we start to feel, we put more pressure on ourselves and we feel less and less strong, or we feel more and more disappointed in ourselves, and that can spiral us down a negative path. As opposed to if you give yourself self-compassion. Self-compassion is like talking to a best friend who maybe told you about them overeating. I'll just use that example. Right? And so to a best friend, you'd say, oh, gosh, yeah, I mean, you have a lot on your plate right now. I get it. Like, I get how that would be hard to not resort to some of your comfort things that you used to do, right? Or, it's hard for all of us. So we're looking for something to kind of soothe us. And so a best friend would tell you that. And that makes you feel how? Like when I say that to you as a best friend.
Yeah, well, it feels good to know that, I'm not messed up, I'm not screwed up. It just makes sense in the context of my life that might happen.
Yeah.
So then I can set it to the back and go, okay, well, there you go. I like the way you framed that. Now I'm ready to start again tomorrow.
Right. Tomorrow's a new day. And you haven't beaten yourself up to say how screwed up you are and how a failure you are and you'll never get this. And, here's another 2 pounds you just added. And, why did you have to do that? And that kind of negative self-talk. I mean, we've all done it. And we have to catch ourselves in it and remember to talk to yourself like you would your best friend. And if you do that, it's not giving yourself excuses. It's giving yourself enough room to be human and to start over. Every day is a new day, right? And if you talk to people who have had success, I remember watching a documentary and there were a few people that were talking about their success in weight loss. And it's a journey, right? It takes a while to get to where you want to be. And every step of the process, you have to focus on being, looking for positives in where you're at. And this person was talking about every day, when she went off her plan, she had to start over the next day. Every day she would just start over. That's how she reached her goal. And it makes sense. And you can't do that without giving yourself self-compassion.
Right, and that's perfect segue into number 4, and they're all hooked. So number 4 is be careful of all or none thinking, black or white thinking. Throwing the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. So when Tina's talking about this example of a person starting fresh each day, that's really having some flexibility built into your plan where there's going to be relapse. And that happens with everybody who's attempting to try some new things, a new program. There will be relapse where you take a step backwards. And the question is, how do you respond when you take a step backwards? Do you say, screw it, I already ate a bowl of chips, I might as well finish off the bag? Or, screw it, I messed up yesterday, I might as well just eat the way I want today because I ruined it? Or do you say, well, yeah, I know I did that yesterday, it's an Etch-a-Sketch. I'm going to shake that so it's nice and clear. And the new day is a new day. I get to do the drawing I want with whatever food plan I'm on. So the all or none thinking probably would be one of the highest reasons why diets fail, because it was destined to fail anyway, because that's what diets are. They're all or none. You have to
Right.
eat like this or it doesn't work. But in real life, people who are successful, I think, at healthy weights have some flexibility built in there, and they understand that, stuff happens and you do take steps backwards. And the question is, how long is it going to take you for you to get straightened out again? And the quicker you can do that, the better. And if it's built into your plan that there will be relapse, then you'll have a quicker response to getting back to start again.
Yeah, and I think that all or none too is about setting a realistic bar at the
Mm-hmm.
same time,
Right.
right? Because I know for myself, there's been when we were really busy at some point when the kids were younger and with work and all, I really struggled to find time for exercise. And the only way it changed is when I started to bring my bar down. Again, it goes with the second one you think, respect your capacity for where
Yeah.
you're at. And when life is really busy and you have young kids and your energy is spread in 10 different directions, you can't do it all, right? I was coming from going to the gym every day and running and before kids, and I couldn't sustain that at that same level. But getting out of that all or none thinking is what saved me, because at some point I had to tell myself, okay, 10 minutes of walking a day, I can manage that. And there's no reason why I can't do 10 minutes of walking every day. Now, that was a really big shift for somebody who used to be a runner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to go back to that shift and saying, okay, that's all I can do. If you're in this all or none thinking, you'll say to yourself, oh, well, if I can't do at least 30 minutes, I might as well not do it. But then you end up not doing anything at all. So what's better, 10 minutes a day or nothing at all?
Mm-hmm. And that's the consistency part of the mindset,
Yeah.
is that we're really focused on building some daily habits that you can live with and become a lifestyle, rather than these big chunks of time where you're really kicking it, and then there's a big
Yes.
chunk of time where you're not doing
Right.
anything, and then there's a chunk of time where well, that actually is not good for a healthy weight either. But something that's consistent where you're able to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you are able to pull it off, then you ladder it up, taking a next, or the rung, whatever it is, if you have the capacity. Because once you're comfortable with that consistency, now you can have the capacity to just a little bit more, and then later on just a little bit more,
Right.
and off you go. Rather than, I'm going to do it all at once. Do you ever know anybody who's like, okay, my New Year's resolution is I'm going to the gym every day, and they hadn't gone to the gym for like 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
We know how that's going to end. That's an all or none kind of attitude. But what about, I'm going to aim to go to the gym twice a week, and I'm going to see if I can do that for 6 weeks. And then after I do it for 6 weeks, I'll ask myself, can I add another one in?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe one every couple of weeks extra? And I think that's the kind of attitude that helps people set a healthy weight and start managing it and live and feel good about themselves.
Yes, I follow this trainer online. Betty Rocker is her name. She's wonderful, and her motto is all or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically getting you on your mat every day to do something, and her workouts are all like things you can do at home. But her workouts are 25, 30 minutes. But she said, if you can only do 10 minutes, you did something today. So that's keeping you in that consistency and momentum. And then most days you probably can do more than that.
Yeah.
But at least you did 10 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's where we're at. So what we're inviting you to do now, comment below. This is something we all can relate to, trying to be healthy and finding that healthy weight. So share your experiences with this. If there's anything that resonates with you, or anything that's worked for you in your mindset, or that you have to kind of like intentionally focus on, comment below. We love to hear from you. And we also encourage you at the end of these to always take some sort of action. So what we're encouraging you to do now is just choose, we talked about 4 mindset today. Choose one that you feel like you could improve on. And take some time to share it with somebody. The more you talk about it or you process it, maybe journal around it, the more it'll more likely be on your mind. So do that. Choose one and post it somewhere. Post it somewhere where you see it every day. Write it down somewhere so you constantly have it in your mind, in your sight. yeah, so that's what we encourage you to do, to take action on what we talked about today.
Yeah. And another action you can take, if you have someone who you think might benefit from hearing this, why don't you talk to them about what you learned, or share this actual video with them, because there might be someone in your life who really needs to hear a message like this right now, that it's not all your fault, that it's very doable, we can learn how to do this, there are some steps involved, and the self-compassion piece really is helpful for people, especially at this difficult time of how the world's going and how everybody's life seems to be pretty stressful. So, well, that's it for us.
That's it. So we invite you to live healthy and love fully, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Thanks for joining us. Take care, folks.
Bye.